Hello everyone, welcome back. Let's solve today's problem. Today's problem is majority element. In this one, we are given a array nums of size n. Majority element means the element that appears more than half times of the size of the array. That is a majority element. You can see here in example, 3 appears 2 times and size of this array is 3. So the majority element 3 is the majority element. Okay. Similarly here 2 appears 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1 appears 3 times. And the size of the array is 7. So 2 becomes majority element. Okay. So that's that's our problem. Let's solve it. Let's write the program for this one. So for this one, what before writing the program, let's see how we can solve this one. So for this one, we can go through each and every element in this array, and we can keep a count of it. Means we can create a hash map. We can create a hash map that will have count of each and every element, and whichever is the and the value that is which element has the count greater than the half of the size, that will be our result. So let's do it. Okay, we have this majority function. For this one, first we can declare a variable max count that will keep the count of the element, and we can have one hash map that is count. Okay, one hash map max count, and we can have one variable result, that is our that is the variable that will have the final result. Okay, we can define them as 0 0. Okay, so we'll go through each and every element in this array. Okay, we go through it and add the count in the hash map. So in Python we can create a dictionary with the count of the element using get function. So that will be count of count get. This means if the element is coming up element is this element is not there in this count dictionary already, then by default it will add 0 as the count, and 1 will be added there. So this is the dictionary is created here. Suppose this 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 count is our result. So what will then in that case this n will be our result if this count of n is our result is if this is greater than our max count that we have defined. If that is not the case, then we'll have the result as the value, and we can just update max count by this and this count. Okay, and we just return this res as the result. This should work. Now let's run it, make sure it works. To run, let's have the example that we have discussed already. Suppose so this we can have this array. Okay, and we can just print majority element and pass this nums. Okay, and run it. So 2, here 2 is the majority element. But the second problem is in this uh, in this in the majority element, you can see here is the follow-up. In the follow-up, they are asking to solve this in big of 1. constant time. Currently this this function will take like time complexity big of n, because we are going through the array at least once, and space complexity as well, it will be big of n. So now we'll have to solve it in constant time big of 1. That means we cannot use hash map for this one. Okay, for that what we can do, uh, we can we can so suppose let's have a variable that will go through from left to right. Okay, and we'll have a count variable, and we'll have a result variable. Count variable initially, result initially we will assign to the first element as the result, and the count is 1. We'll go to the next, this is also 2, then the count will increase to 2, result is still 2. Now if we find 1, so how we we don't know if other 2 will occur or not, then what we'll do, we just to make sure that whichever occurs the next majority element, we just let's decrease the count of this one to by 1, so it will become 1, and again the 2 is found. 2 I still 2 count is 1, again 2 one more 1 is found, this will be decremented to 0. Now if this is decremented to 0, the next element will become 1, and then if this count becomes 0, then we'll have 1 as our next result variable. Again the next variable occurs is 1, so we'll increment this to 1, and the result has 1. Okay, now again 2 has occurred. 2 has occurred, will decrement it to 0. Okay, this 2 has occurred, decrement is 0, and this again this is 0, then we'll make this result variable as 2. Again last one is 2, and this will become 1, and this is 1. So last variable that remains is 2. So that 2 is our answer. Okay, by the way, this algorithm is called Boyer-Moore algorithm, and this will only work if this array guarantees that this array is ha does have at least one majority element. On that basis only this Boyer-Moore algorithm will work. Let's code it out now. So let's comment this one. Let's comment all of them. Okay, and let's comment this too. Okay, now we'll have one our result variable and one count variable. Okay, let's define is result. First element will be here as our first element, and count will be 0. So let's go through the element and nums array. Okay, okay, now we'll assign num result will be here. Last, how when will be incrementing the count variable? Count will be equal to 1 1 plus 1 if the current value n is equal to the result variable. Okay, else will be decrement it by 1. Okay, this is the method will be incremented the count. Now how we are going to assign the res? If count becomes 0, okay, then the res will have this n as a result. Okay, that is how this. So whenever count with 0, initially count is 0, so we'll pick the first one. And whenever, as we discussed here, whenever this count becomes 0, we take whatever the next our next value is coming up. So we'll take n that value as res. Okay, now here this res will be our result. Let's run it to check if this works. Okay, yeah, 2, it is working. So that's the solution. In this one we can see time complexity n and space complexity has become constant. That means big of 1. So that's the solution for this one. Hope this helps. Thanks for watching.